Hello everyone, this is Rupa working as an assistant professor in Kokaraju Rangaraj Institute of Engineering and Technology. Now I will discuss about data mining functionalities. Before going to discuss about the functionalities, we can know about what is meant by data mining functionalities. Data mining functionalities are used to specify the kind of patterns to be found in data mining tasks. What kind of patterns do we need to found in data mining tasks? In general, data mining tasks are classified into two categories. One is descriptive, is predictive. In descriptive mining tasks characterize the general properties of a data in database. Predictive mining tasks will perform a inference on the current data in order to make predictions. To make predictions that comes under predictive mining task, general properties data in database comes under descriptive mining task. Then we can go for the what are the functionalities has to be available. Class or concept description. Again, it contains the data characterization and discrimination. And second one is mining frequent patterns, associations, and so correlations. After that, the classification and prediction, cluster analysis, outlier analysis, evolution analysis. In detail, we can go for the each and every functionality. First, we can go for the class or concept description. Generally, data has to be associated with classes or concepts. Here we need to know about the what is meant by a class or a concept. For example, you can take one electronic store as a all electronic store. There the classes of items of a sale include the computers and printers. Computers and printers are comes under the classes. Then the concepts of a customers include the big spenders and budget spenders. Big spenders means they are not uh, comes and the customer who spend a lot of amount of money, we can call it as a big spenders. Budget spenders means based on the amount they can spend their money, that comes under the budget spenders. Here the customers are concepts as a big spenders and budget spenders, and the classes of items are the computers and printers. Here it can be useful to describe the individual classes and concepts in summarized, concise, and very precise terms. Such descriptions or classes or concepts are called as a class or concept description. These descriptions can be derived via data characterization and discrimination. We need to know about what is meant by data characterization and data discrimination. Data characterization means summarizing the data of a class in general terms. That class we can call it as a class. For example, to study the characteristics of a software products whose sales increased by 10% in the last year. In the last year, what is the characteristics of a software products whose sales increased by 10%? Discrimination means comparison of a target class with one or more concepts of comparative classes are a contrasting classes. Comparison of a target class with one or more comparative classes. For example, those who shop for a computer products regularly, that means more than 2 times in a month, and versus those who rarely shop for such products, that means less than 3 times in a year. Here we need to compare these two classes. Customer shop for a computer products regularly versus customer rarely shop for the products, that comes under discrimination. And next functionality is the mining frequent patterns, association, correlations. Here we need to know about the frequent item set, frequent subsequence, substructure. Then we can go for the associations and correlations. In frequent item set of items that frequently appear together in a transactional data set, such as milk and bread, and milk and eggs, bread and eggs, milk and coffee powder. Like that, we have some set of items has to be available that comes under the frequent item set. And frequent subsequence means patterns that customer tend to purchase sequentially. For example, first the customer has to purchase a PC or a laptop, followed by digital camera and then memory card. This comes under the subsequence. Substructure can be referred to as a different structural forms such as graphs, lattices, and trees, which may be combined both to item set and the subsequence. Mining frequent patterns will lead to the discovery of interesting associations and correlations within the data. Mining frequent patterns leads to some interesting associations and correlations. For example, items are frequently purchased together within the same transaction. Within the same transactions, what are the items has to be purchased? For example, the buys of X comma computer and buys of X comma software. That means here X is a computer. The X customer has to buy a computer, and we have a chance of the customer X has to be purchased a software also. Okay, that has to be measured with the help of two measures of support and confidence. Confidence will gives the definitely 75% confidence will gives the whenever the customer has to purchase a computer, they can go for purchasing of a software also. And support means one within the same transaction, no, the customer has to purchase two items. If these two support and confidence will not go receive meet the threshold value, then we need to find the what is the correlation between the items. That comes under the correlation. Next functionality is a classification and prediction. Finding a model or a function that will describe the distinguished classes are the concepts for future prediction. Within the classification, we need to find some model that will give some class labels. Here within this classification, whatever data we are having, it definitely contains the class labels. Based on the known class labels only, we can go for a classifying of a things. That's why data objects whose class label is known, then only we can go for the classification. If some of the data has to be contained that contains the class labels as either yes or no, hot, sunny, and like that. Based on that things, we need to go for classification of the other data. The derived model is based on the analysis of a set of training data. Based on the class label, we have a data has to be available. We need to train the data. Then we need to go for deriving of a new model. For example, classify the countries based on the climatic conditions. Based on climatic conditions, we need to classify the countries. And based on the gas mileage, we need to classify the cars. That is the example of a classification. And we can present the output of the classification in a way as a decision trees, rules, classification rules, and neural networks. And the next functionality is a prediction. Here, predict some unknown or missing numerical values. Prediction of something unknown values, we can call it as a prediction here. For example, predict the amount of revenue that each item will generate during an upcoming sales. In upcoming sales, the example of a company is an all electronics company. What is the revenue of those sales? How we can find that revenue of the upcoming sales? Obviously, based on the previous data only. Based on previous sales, obviously we need to find the what is the revenue of the upcoming sales. That comes under the prediction. Next functionality is a cluster analysis. We need to know about what is meant by a cluster. Obviously, what is cluster is a group of data, group of items, grouping of data. It as a cluster. Here, when we go for comparison with classification, no, in classification, no, it contains the class labels, known class labels. When we go for the cluster analysis, it contains the class label is unknown. Without having the class label, we need to go for finding of a new classes. We need to go for grouping of the data. That comes under the cluster analysis. Here, what is the principle we are following as a maximizing the intra-class similarity and minimizing the inter-class similarity. That means the clusters of objects are formed so that objects within the cluster have high similarity in comparison with other clusters. Very dissimilar objects is other clusters. Okay, and minimum similarity with the other clusters. High similarity with the interclusters within the clusters of data points, and minimum similarity with the intra-class clusters. For example, in all electronics company, the customer data in order to identify the homogeneous population of the customers. Here we need to cluster the homogeneous subpopulation of a clusters. Subpopulation of a customers. Here based on the location, obviously we need to locate the all the population of the customers. We need to find some clusters based on the location. Population of the clusters we can find based on the locations. That comes under the cluster analysis. The next we can go for the outlier analysis. Outlier means data object that does not comply with the general behavior of a data. It doesn't have the general properties of a data. Then we can call it as an outlier. It can be considered as either a noise or exception, but it is quite useful in fraud detection and rare event analysis. Okay, by using the outliers, we can go for analysis of a fraud detection. For example, we have uncovered fraudulent usage of credit cards by detecting purchases of extremely large amounts for a given account number in comparison with the regular charges incurred by the same account. For example, for one of the account holder or a customer has contained some credit card, regularly every month he has done a purchase as a 10,000. But suddenly one of the month the purchase will be 1 lakh. Then we can go for analysis in a way as a regularly he is purchasing only 10,000, but why he can purchase 1 lakh in a 1 month? That whether it is a correct person having the card or any of the fraud person has to be using the other's credit card. Okay, based on the data, we need to identify the fraud detection. Then next, finally, we have a trend and evolution analysis. Within this one, data evolution analysis describes and models regularities or trends for objects whose behavior changes over time. If the behavior of data changes over time, then we need to go for using as a evaluation analysis. For this analysis, it may include the characterization, discrimination, association, correlation, even it will include the classification, prediction, cluster analysis also. For example, the stock exchange data. Obviously, it has to be changed based on the time. Behave based on the changes in a time, the stock exchange data has to be changed. The study of a stock exchange data may identify the stock evolution regularities for overall stocks and for the stocks of a particular companies. Regularities of a overall stocks and for a particular company of a stocks also we need to find by using this evolution analysis. Right? These are all about the class functionalities of a data mining. Thank you.